Nick Faust.
Hey guys, it's that time again. Happy Thursday. It is June 19th. Happy Juneteenth celebrations for people throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We're here ready to get things going at 6:05 on a Thursday. Like, subscribe, share the show. We love it when you guys jump in. This is Arch City Now. Okay, you know what we do? It's all about the Lou all day long. That's what we do. LouInfo.com. You can also give us a call if you want to join our show. You can do that at 855-282-8255. If you have story ideas, if you want to talk to us, you can do that as well. You can email us, archcitynow@gmail.com, archcitynow@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to join the show, you can jump in on the chat line on YouTube and X. You can make your comments be known. You can talk with us. You can talk with others. And you do that on YouTube right now, Arch City Now, and X, Arch City Now. Lots and lots of people finding out about that and using that. Platforms on Facebook and TikTok are upcoming. And of course, you've always got the radio dial, which you're listening to right now. We love it when you like, subscribe, share the show. And of course, let people know what we're doing, getting involved, what's happening in your neck of the woods, what's happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, what's moving the needle for you on this Thursday, June 19th. I got up this morning. In my neck of the woods, it was raining again. I don't know about you, Pro Joe. Same for you?
Oh, yeah.
Rain, go away. Oh, guess what? It is going to go away. Good morning to you, Megan. And here's how it's going away. I looked. There is not a part of the area that has a chance for rain until next Friday.
Woo!
Thank you, Rick. Hot, sunny, crazy high temperatures from now until the end of maybe next Saturday. That's how long it is. Next Friday, next Saturday. It'll be the hottest, sunniest time that we've had in St. Louis in a long time. But we haven't, did we get over 90 yesterday?
It got real close.
I'm not sure we did. If somebody can check and let me know, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
I knew yesterday we had a chance. Once again, when you look at what's going on today, another chance. I don't know. No, we're not. No chance for today. Tomorrow, like 93, could go higher. Heat indices over 100 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6, 7 days.
Would you call it a heat wave?
Yeah, that's a heat wave. The heat is on. It is here. Guys, thanks for joining us 6:07, June 19th. When you do jump into the show, and let people know, it's not just us, but every day from 8 to 10 a.m., Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue. Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes, they've been on our show as well already. Yeah, no doubt about that. Fire all over the freaking place. And when you guys, when you're out there and about, we talked about it, just be safe, be careful. Don't take things for granted, whether it's on the water, as we talked about with a man missing still from Mason's Island, who went under Saturday night without a life jacket. If you're driving, whatever, summer hits, people be more carefree. Just be careful. Try to make good decisions. I know nobody's perfect, but let's try to do that if we can.
Be safe and be responsible.
Safe and responsible. It goes without saying. Okay. Some of the things Cardinals got rained out yesterday. I saw the skies start to do what they've been doing a whole lot lately yesterday. I was like, okay, we're going to get hit again. Evening time, some places got hit. Clarksville had a tornado touchdown. That's north of St. Louis, by the way.
Yeah,
about 75 miles north?
Yeah, I have video of that if you want.
You do?
Yeah, I have to send it to myself.
Yeah, find that. That would be, let's play that video. I mean, everybody has seen it.
I'll let you know when I get it.
Yeah, let me know. I'm looking at some of the stuff right now.
Yeah, it's definitely creepy footage, though, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was looking down at some of the video.
I'm trying to send myself the video so I can get it on the computer.
Okay. I am, pay attention to the road coming from the chat line as well if you got things going on, and try not to get too crazy out there. Okay, Cardinals, yeah, that weather hit Chicago. They were postponed last night. They have a doubleheader today. They play at 1:10. They play at 4:40. We'll talk more about the Cardinals coming up a little bit later. Fetty on the mound for the first game. McCreevy, the young kid, the rookie, pitches at 4:40. He looked pretty good his first time out. They've got they got to take care of business today. Wrap it up because they come back home. As that weather heats up, they come back home. They take on the Reds. They'll take on the Cubs. That'll be the 7 next straight games that they'll have over at Busch Stadium. We'll see if people get out there as well. I always like to ask how the concerts were. I do. It's just one of those things in St. Louis. If anybody went out to see Halsey last night,
She's bad at love.
there you go. I had to look at Projo. I set you up.
I thought we were stopping that, but
Dude, I
guess,
set you up for it. You
Yeah.
hit it out. I had to look at you.
Yep.
I gave you one more chance to say it.
Yeah. She's bad
If
at
anybody
love.
was at the concert, let us know how that went last night.
Let-
Projo pulled it. What'd you get?
Well, I was gonna say, let me know if she's better at love by now. If you went to the concert last night,
How is somebody going to know that, Projo?
I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody who went to the concert found out.
And they would
maybe
know
she
that if
has a
she's
new
better at
song
love.
about
They
it.
would know that she's better at love.
Yeah, maybe she's got a new song about it.
How are you going to find out if somebody's better at love?
Uh,
Okay, next. You said you had video of a tornado touching down in
I do.
Clarksville, right? Clarksville, north of Missouri.
Yeah,
Let's check it out
closer to me than you.
for our podcast. Oh, I did see this. Do you see the funnel forming? This is what happened in St. Louis 3 times already this year, massively, as it forms and goes to the ground. I mean, that
Right over the river too.
is scary, awesome, spectacular video all at the same point in time.
Mhm.
When that goes down, become a water spout. That's what you see out in the ocean. I'll never forget the first time I saw that. That was scary. And was like, no, you'll find. Water spouts can come to shore. They can do some damage, is what I've told. But at the same point in time, usually they don't do a lot. Okay. Something else we'll be talking about. Obviously, the president of the United States has a lot going on with what's happening in the Middle East. But Josh Hawley here, our St. Louis area, Missouri senator, U.S. senator, we told you last week, was pushing for a federal minimum wage of $15 an hour. Currently $7.25. That's not going to cut it. I'm sorry. I disagree with that. And I don't know how anybody can survive on that. I mean, even getting extra money, just even if you're being supported, just spending money, $7.25. So he's pushing that. Donald Trump he was asked about it. He said, well, Josh and I are really good friends. I'll be curious why he said that. So I'll have a chance to talk to him. It might be something interesting to talk about. Also, when it comes to, things that are heading on in the area today, we talked about Juneteenth or Juneteenth celebrations all over the St. Louis metropolitan area. I mean, all over. And the Missouri History Museum is one of them. Lots of events. I talked with Michael McMillan of the Urban League yesterday. He was going to join us today to talk about all the efforts that they're putting in for tornado victims all throughout the St. Louis area. But he's like, we're really packed with Juneteenth events. We've got guests tomorrow. So he's going to come in next week and talk to us. But, just check out your websites for all over St. Louis. There's and I don't want to give up some and then miss some and then people get upset. But I did see that one that came through was the Missouri History Museum. Has an opening where people can actually go in and check out some really cool events and cool displays dating to and revolving around Juneteenth celebrations. Once again, like, subscribe, share the show. We are the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. Once again, you can stream us at louinfo.com and you can watch us at YouTube and X as well. Arch City Now. If you want to give us a call, you can do that. The phone number, 855-282-8255. We're here till 8 o'clock, bringing you everything that we can from that standpoint. Also, we're talking about the weather and the tornadoes that came through in March. They absolutely destroyed the Creve Coeur Soccer Park complex. That was 3 months ago. They haven't had any games there. And believe it or not, If you're into the soccer world, that's a really, really important area. A lot of soccer goes on there, not only for teams here, but teams across the country coming in here. I mean, teams as far as California, Hawaii, coming into play in St. Louis. There's an economic impact that does affect the St. Louis area when that's playing and when it's not playing. Their director said they have put up 8 new turf fields, 8 turf fields in less than 60 days. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Why are you looking at me like that,
Well,
buddy?
I'm wondering, is the soccer park at 141 and 364?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that got affected by the tornado?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Oh, it came right through there, and then it went to Florissant.
Oh, wow.
It was on that path.
Oh,
South
okay.
County, it came up through
Gotcha.
141, went straight to Florissant,
Wow.
and hit people in Florissant as well.
Gotcha.
And that's what we were talking about. You know, we didn't get hit with any tornadoes yesterday, but we did get more weather. And it's just a reminder every time now, it's like you just kind of brace in and waiting to see, is something else going to happen? Oh my gosh, something happened in Kirksville. Yes, we will see that up. Megan says, yep, tore it up, Joe. Her sons play soccer out there. Couldn't play soccer there, but they got that back. It's such a big, 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 big deal. And there's a lot of soccer that goes on. Obviously, this is a soccer city, a soccer area. That was just, I mean, there's so much that's gotten damaged in the tornadoes that have come through this entire area. You drive around, you'll be like, oh, you'll see tarps on roofs.
Still?
Yeah. Oh, well, here's the thing. You'll see tarps on roofs even down in from the March 14th storm. If you're traveling through Florissant, if you're traveling in Arnold, some parts of like Festus, Crystal City, Imperial, you'll still see a lot of tarps because here's the thing. You're still waiting and dealing with insurance because what happens when you have these things that come in, and we're going to have an expert come onto the show, Andrew D'Angelo from Revolve Construction. What they do is you have to file a claim first, and then you have an adjuster that comes out. I know this is pretty basic for many people. The adjuster comes out, but then there's several people who are trying to do the same thing you are. So then you have to wait for the adjuster. Some people get appointments quick, some don't. Then there can be back and forth on what they say is covered. And then they'll get back to you with an estimate. And then if you're with a really good company, that company knows how to work with the insurance to make sure that because they're not trying to. I'm telling you right now, and this is part of my other business. I'm not going to say insurance companies are trying to hurt you in any way, but there's so many claims. They have a one size fits all estimate and they miss things 9 out of 10 times. They miss things. That's money that should be in your pocket. It's a fact. It just is. It's what happens every day of the week. And if I had an adjuster sitting on the other side of the table, we could talk about it. This is what happens. So then you can go back and forth. Then you finally get set for work and then you get that taken care of. And then Joe, sometimes flat, honest, some people just take that money. I'm just going to say they take the money.
Yeah.
And they sit on it.
Yeah.
And they may not get the repairs and, use it for the next rainy day. No pun intended.
Just replace the tarp every year
or something. I don't know. An HOA would have to jump in at some point in time to take care of that. But some of those things are what happens. Megan says, by the way, all those games over the last 3 months, which are a lot of soccer games over at the Creve Coeur Soccer Park, had to be moved as well. So that could complicate things. But great job. You put down 8 turf fields, 8 brand new turf fields in under 60 days. That is a lot of work. That's moving around the clock as well.
It's a nice soccer park too.
Yeah, it is. And it's not easy to put that down because people forget when you're trying to do construction, you need weather that cooperates.
Right.
When it's raining all the time, I mean, it's very difficult to work in that. So we'll talk more about that coming up, whatever you guys want to deal with. Oh, yeah. We got an HOA we could talk about, that's for sure, in St. Charles County. The Josh Hawley stuff coming up. Why are all the Teslas parked at Chesterfield Mall? If you've seen that, parts of South St. Louis right now are under a boil advisory because they had a water main break. Normally that happens in the winter. We'll get into more of that coming up. Also some Chiefs news today and lawsuits regarding them. This is Arch City Now. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. We are your information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with more Arch City Now right after this.
It's the hottest happy hour in St. Louis. In Your City Show with Kelly Lamb and Gordon Montgomery. Weekday afternoons from 4 to 6. 590 AM, just like any other St. Louisan. We may go away, but we always come back. The Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Get your content when you want it, how you want it. louinfo.com.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Post offices are closed today to mark the Juneteenth holiday. The day marks the liberation of the last enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And a Juneteenth youth block party will be held between 4 and 7 p.m. today on Louisiana Avenue with the Believe It Youth Organization. A pedestrian was struck and killed early Wednesday morning on Interstate 70 at Salisbury Street. St. Louis Metropolitan Police said the man tried crossing the interstate when he was struck. He died after suffering, quote, catastrophic injuries. 1 in 10 people in Missouri have unclaimed money coming to them, according to the state treasurer. The money can come from uncollected insurance policy proceeds, government refunds, utility deposits, and money from prior jobs. The total unclaimed is $1.5 billion. You can check at treasurer.mo.gov. St. Louis ranks number 4 in the U.S. when it comes to mail carriers being bitten by dogs. St. Louis and Kansas City are both in the top 10. Missouri had a total of 207 attacks in 2024. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. Couple of rounds of severe weather, one through the overnight, and then the second one will be later Wednesday into late Wednesday night. So the main threat through the overnight will be some damaging winds, and then we could add some large hail and tornadoes into the mix on Wednesday. Dropping down into the mid-70s overnight, we end up in the mid-80s with the rough weather moving through on Wednesday. We also could see very heavy rain. I'm meteorologist Sally Russell for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. 800-891-6335. That's 800-891-6335.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. We're getting things moving this morning on a Thursday, June 19th. Glad you were with us. Happy Juneteenth to people throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Like, subscribe, share the show, do what we're doing. Join in, get involved. Whatever you want to talk about, let us know what's happening in your community. There's always things going on throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. It is a Thursday as well. You can watch us at Lou Info on YouTube, but we also like primarily people to watch us at Arch City Now, YouTube and X. You can watch us on YouTube and X at Arch City Now. You can give us a call if you want to as well, 855-282-8255. That's 855-282-8255. If you want to jump in on the chat line, you can do that as well. Make comments on X, make comments on YouTube. And of course, we can get those on the air for you if you would like as well, and then talk with other people. Headlines, things that are happening around town. We talk about that. Obviously, the Cardinals didn't play last night. A lot of weather in Chicago as well. Sun shining though now. The weather was bad there. Cardinals have a doubleheader today. 110 and 440. I know people will be watching those. 110 game. Fetty will be on the mound for the Cardinals. He hasn't been that bad this year. 3.65 ERA. And then a 440, the rookie, the young kid, McCreevy. He's come out of the gates not too shabby in a couple of starts. So Cardinals still 7 games behind the first place Reds. After that, they come back to St. Louis, where they will play the Reds over the weekend. And then, of course, they've got the Chicago Cubs coming for 4 games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 4 games with the Cubs next week as the weather gets really hot. We were talking about the weather in the first break as well. All above 90 for like 7 straight days after today, Friday to next Friday. And it didn't see any chance of rain at this point in time. So hot, sunny, and dry. One of those sizzling St. Louis summers, that's for sure. That's what we start to see at least. One thing that we were seeing, some of those things that are happening. I want to give an idea and an update too. People were talking about this. We were talking about roofs. We were talking about construction, insurance. I was out yesterday down on the Bolivar area. I was like McPherson, DeGuyverville, Waterman, and I ran into volunteers from the Red Cross. And it blew my mind. They've been here since March working. They come up here, and I had no idea. If you're in need or if you have some sort of an assistance, the American Red Cross are paying for people's roofs that can't do it for themselves right now. You contact them. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, no, they were up here from Florida. I said, yeah, you give us a call. Let us come. We'll come out. We'll examine the house and let you know, because they were working with a house where I was at yesterday. I was like, huh, interesting. Had no idea that they did that. So that's another opportunity in regards to the many chances that people have to take care of St. Louis area funds that are happening as well. So I wanted to get that out there. A lot of Teslas are at Chesterfield Mall still. They're sitting out in that parking lot.
I didn't even know they were there.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't travel that way on Highway 40.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, so you don't see those. There's just an influx of them. The Tesla dealership is like, I don't know, 1.5 miles from there, not too far.
Yeah.
The closest one. They don't have room. They're like, are people buying Teslas or not?
Doesn't look like it.
So there are a lot of Teslas sitting out there. There's been people who've been talking about that in the area, and those being there in the Chesterfield Valley. But that's what's happened with the cars, so to speak, out in that area. All of those Teslas. So if anybody was wondering, now you know. And of course, now you can sleep at night.
We're getting taken over by Tesla.
Yeah, exactly. And more of a serious note this morning. We like to laugh and have fun and talk positive and do some of those things. There was a water main break, I guess overnight early this morning in parts of South St. Louis. So they're under an advisory, unfortunately. Not a lot of fun people having to deal with that, but it is what it is. You have to make your way around it. Those things happen. Usually they don't happen in the summer. At least that's what I'm not familiar with. Not a lot of them. Most of the time.
I don't know what would cause that during the summer.
Most of the time, yeah, it's happening.
And there's no extreme
winter.
Yeah, there's no extreme temperature change. So what caused that?
Yeah. Well, and then of course you don't want to be dealing with that. We've got, dangerous high heat coming this weekend as well, on top of everything else that we've been, trying to get people up to date with.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure that'll make it all better.
What's that?
The heat.
Oh yeah, the heat. Lots of fun there. Lots of fun. There's another interesting story, at least I find it to be interesting. I've seen these stories before, and 1 in 10 Missourians have unclaimed property. Have you ever heard these stories before in the state of Missouri?
Yeah.
1 in 10. To me, that's a lot.
That's crazy. I already looked mine up. I don't have anything.
How do you look at that? That's what I was going to say.
It's treasury.gov/unclaimed property, I think. Yeah.
Well, Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik is making his annual reminder to Missourians, because I think we did this story last year on our other show, that 1 in 10 Missourians have unclaimed property totaling $1.5 billion. That's insane. The money can come from uncollected insurance policy proceeds, government refunds, utility deposits, and also money from prior jobs. I don't know about you guys, but do you guys really know people or hang around with people who are going to leave money on the table? I don't. Yeah, I just left 100,000 sitting over there somewhere.
Right.
Really? No. Even my friends with buku bucks wouldn't do that. You have buku bucks because you're watching those pennies.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of people that don't realize it's out there too.
Malik says the state has more than 175,000 residents who have unclaimed property worth $50 or more. I mean, who would, it's little spending cash, gas money, drink money. For Joe, that's a lunch at Lion's Choice.
One sandwich.
This is, he just reminds everybody, it's the state's money. It's Missourians' money. The treasurer also encourages everyone to check for unclaimed property, last year, and this is what's interesting too, last year the Missouri office, the treasurer's office, was able to return over $56 million to rightful owners. $56 million. I just, so bizarre. And yes, you can simply, property can be searched by name, business, or property ID numbers. The website will then show any unclaimed property along with that amount. And then all you have to do is click add for it to be put into your cart. That's it. Just like that. You simply, you fill out the website. It's treasurer.mo.gov. Treasurer.mo.gov. And then you're in business. Not a shabby thing to do. That's for sure. Who knows? Have you ever found anything? I've looked at this before and it was like, no, you owe money. No,
Right.
Be careful what you go looking for. You may find something.
No, I did look and I'm not on the list.
Yeah. And it may be you that owes money. No, that would be like, damn.
That would be my luck.
Damn, that would not be good. We don't want to see any of that stuff. Anyway, this is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. That's the voice of Projo, a.k.a. Wilson. We hear him, we don't see him, and that's just part of it, unfortunately. We deal with that. We let Joe be Joe. We don't want to upset him because he'll cause all kinds of
I
problems.
have
all
a
over the
face
place.
for radio. That's
Stop
what I've
it.
been told.
Oh, you have a face for radio, huh? Okay. All right. I found this to be interesting. Has anybody heard of Springville, Missouri?
Mm-mm.
Springville, Missouri.
What's that near?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. It was one of those sites that's doing rankings when it comes to most dangerous cities, 20 most dangerous cities to live in the U.S.
It's 3 hours and 13 minutes away, so that's good.
Is it south?
It is.
I was assuming it was south. I just never heard of Springville.
Yeah, it's kind of south of the Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay. Oh,
It's
interesting.
right on the border, I think. Or it's
Springville.
close to the border. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got it. It is. I see it right now. It has the highest crime rate in the state.
Wonder
How about
why.
that? Springville.
Right.
Springville.
Southwest Missouri.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I mean, all the usual suspects are on the list. I was trying to find if St. Louis was on there as I'm looking. I'm going,
It usually would be.
Oh, yeah, there's St. Louis, of course, is
Of
there.
course.
600. I mean, based on 2023 stats, and we want everything to be positive, but we are who we are. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. We wear who we are on our patch. It is what it is. St. Louis was the second most dangerous city in the United States last year, with 6,112 violent crimes and almost 18,000 property crimes reported in 2023. Oh my gosh. Residents have a 1 in 50 chance of being the victim of a crime. Oh no, I didn't think it would be that bad. I always say knock on wood, God bless us, God protect us.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has been good so far for me.
Right.
But I know other people who it has not been.
Yeah.
Whether it's vandalism, theft, you
Right.
name it, or other things that are happening. Damn.
I think almost everybody has a
Surprises
story.
me. Yeah, but I try to keep the positive.
Right,
I want to think that things are getting better.
Yeah.
And you hope so. New mayor, new ideas, new attitude, a new summer, all those things happening. Okay. Yikes. This is Arch City Now. You can watch us on YouTube at Arch City Now. You can also watch us on X at Arch City Now as well. We talked about the Juneteenth celebrations. You can check out just Google it and you'll see all kinds of things throughout St. Louis. There are so many events. I promoted one, Missouri History Museum, because I didn't think they had necessarily competition. Just want to make sure we're being fair with everybody. That's a really good place to go and check out some things from that standpoint. Also, I found this to be interesting as well. I wanted to take care of in this first hour some of the tornado things that were happening. I got off track. FEMA is also sending more staff to the St. Louis area as the tornado victims are beginning to receive their assistance right now. That's what I forgot to add that when I was talking about the Red Cross being here. But St. Louis has not been put to the side by any means at all. St. Louis is trying to be taken care of, but there's so much damage, so much money, so much cleanup to be done. It'll take a year. I mean, it is. I mean, there's still cars sitting on the street from over a month ago that had trees falling on them. They're just sitting there. I mean, it looks like, well, it was that massive trees fell into them, right in the middle of them,
Right.
just crashed out, burned out, just sitting right there on the sides of the street. So unfortunately, those things are going on. Another update from Chesterfield from a story that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Remember I can't remember the name of the contractor, but there was a Chesterfield contractor put liens on hundreds of Chesterfield homes because they weren't being paid by McBride. Remember that story?
I do, yeah.
I mean, I hadn't heard anybody doing that and going really public about it because the judge said, yeah, you can do that. Well, all it took was some publicity. And guess what? McBride paid the contractor. The fines were paid, so the liens are coming off now. So McBride made sure they came back out and said that they paid the contractor the money. I don't know why people can't do this in the first place.
Yeah. Sometimes turning the light on really makes a difference.
Turning the light on. Shining the light in the midst of the darkness. Certain things run around. Yeah, no, it was taken care of. They were in a lawsuit. You don't want those things to happen. But that was another update that came out in St. Louis. People were like, okay, all right, we're going to get that done. And you don't want that. Besides, that bad publicity, that's terrible. You're a builder, a contractor. That's the last thing you want.
Well, and scurry things only crawl around in the dark. So I think that says a lot. Yeah, that says a lot about McBride. I'm sorry.
No, it does. It's one of those headlines. We got to take a quick break, guys. This is Art City Now. We are the information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with much more, many headlines today right after this.
Nobody has more passion for music than Tony Patrico, and you can hear that passion come to life each week on Sounds of STL, Monday and Wednesday at 3, only on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Post offices are closed today to mark the Juneteenth holiday. The day marks the liberation of the last enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And a Juneteenth youth block party will be held between 4 and 7 p.m. today on Louisiana Avenue with the Believe It Youth Organization. A pedestrian was struck and killed early Wednesday morning on Interstate 70 at Salisbury Street. St. Louis Metropolitan Police said the man tried crossing the interstate when he was struck. He died after suffering, quote, catastrophic injuries. 1 in 10 people in Missouri have unclaimed money coming to them, according to the state treasurer. The money can come from uncollected insurance policy proceeds, government refunds, utility deposits, and money from prior jobs. The total unclaimed is $1.5 billion. You can check at treasurer.mo.gov. St. Louis ranks number 4 in the U.S. when it comes to mail carriers being bitten by dogs. St. Louis and Kansas City are both in the top 10. Missouri had a total of 207 attacks in 2024. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your luinfo.com weather update. Couple of rounds of severe weather, one through the overnight, and then the second one will be later Wednesday into late Wednesday night. So the main threat through the overnight will be some damaging winds, and then we could add some large hail and tornadoes into the mix on Wednesday. Dropping down into the mid-70s overnight, we end up in the mid-80s with the rough weather moving through on Wednesday. We also could see very heavy rain. I'm meteorologist Sally Russell for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries, we create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow all the station's social media accounts and podcasts. Find out how at luinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Appreciate you jumping in today. Like, subscribe, let people know, share the show. You can do that on YouTube. You can also do it on X. That's where we are, Arch City Now. We love story ideas. We love you guys checking in from the neck of the woods where you are and letting us know what's happening in St. Louis, what's moving the needle for you, what events are coming up as well. The sun is bright this morning, that is for sure. We have got about 7-8 days of hot temperatures coming, sun shining all over the place. St. Louis hitting summertime, and hopefully you can stay cool, because all of a sudden, as Joe said yesterday, the switch has been switched. It has been flipped on. Summer's here. Spring was no more.
And now all of a sudden we're having a heat wave.
We had cooler temperatures in the spring. We just didn't have the sun with it. So, there were some cooler temperatures. Now we've got it. Okay, so we talked about Cardinals didn't play last night. They got a doubleheader today. Could be some good TV watching. 1:10 and 4:40 are the doubleheaders up there in Chicago, as hopefully the Cardinals can get done what they need to get done when it comes to sweeping that series and coming home for some games against the Reds. And then, of course, the Cubs, as you heard in the break, 4-game series starting on the 23rd. Get your tickets now. Go support the Cardinals from what you can do there. The Chiefs are now dealing. We were talking about the Chiefs and their mascot yesterday. The Chiefs are now dealing with a lawsuit. A former, these things happen. A former player, Ramsey Robinson, who was a cornerback, played in the league for like 3 years, played like 25 games. He joined the Chiefs as an employee. He filed a lawsuit now. Now, he hasn't worked for them in quite some time, but he decided to file a lawsuit in the Western District Court saying that the Chiefs paid black business employees less than white business employees, and said that he was pressured to sign contracts with no raises. I've been down that road. I can't. Been down that road quite often. I never try to judge, or nobody should another person in the shoes that they walk in or knowing their experiences. But it is interesting that he brought this to the table, Ramsey Robinson. So that brought some news back in with the Chiefs from a standpoint, not so great from a public standpoint. Okay, we got it. We'll see where all of that goes. Okay, Projo, are you a Netflix fan?
Kinda. I mean, occasionally they have something on there.
Well, that kind of it's growing. We know regular TV has kind of died.
Yeah,
we've talked about it.
Oh yeah,
it's happened.
I would definitely watch Netflix before I would watch cable.
Most people are, especially people 40 and under.
Yeah,
and, I mean, it is one of those things. If you look at the trends, and it's not like ripping people, but most people the like watching traditional TV, traditional news, it's gone away. It's just the ratings go. That's what's going on. People like to watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it. They don't want to get everything. I want this. I want my niche. I want that. That's what this network at luinfo.com is all about. It's niche listening, and we have a lot of that going on. Well, Netflix is now going to start streaming live TV for the first time as well. How does that play out for the consumer? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see when it comes to the bottom line. But they have teamed up with a French broadcasting unit to bring this to people. So you're talking about top dramas, soap operas, and major sporting events for Netflix. So they'll be the first. Yeah, they're going to be the first to do that.
I think NBC's on there, and I think Saturday Night Live's. I wonder if they'll stream Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe. That is certainly interesting. I
believe Saturday Night Live's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's one of the.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live forever.
It's been a while for me as well.
What was it start? 10 o'clock Central Time or 10:30? Yeah. I'm not even up at that time usually.
Right.
I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not up at 10:30 on a Saturday night.
See, on Saturdays, I'm listening to the Saturday Night Party on jetjams.net.
Whatever that
is. At that time. You don't know what that is?
I don't. I don't know what that is, and I'm sorry.
You never heard of the Saturday Night Party on jetjams.net?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so people who like Netflix can go ahead and jump in there and do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I saw people, you have to evolve. You have to evolve with the times, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have to evolve and move things up.
Yeah, well, tell that to my parents. They still rely on cable and,
Yeah, well, cable's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, if you look at what they're charging, it's highway robbery.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Pro Joe. It really is a good point, what they do charge. But you have to keep up. You have to continue to offer people, consumers. You have to have a forward way of thinking for business. And I think that's what Netflix is trying to do. They've made so much money. Yeah, from the chat line, man said, that's my fault. Yep, probably. I get it. You deal with some of those things. It's like, my gosh. Okay. All right. Hey, this is interesting to me. Have you ever had, I've got a friend, I'm not going to say his name, but have you ever had friends or known people who got confused for suspects that police were looking for? They'll put out a picture and they'll be like, that looks like somebody I know.
I think I know where you're going with this. And
oh, you do?
Yeah, that person looks pretty familiar to me too.
Does it look like somebody who used to work in this studio to you, or somebody else? I thought just
should I just pop the picture up?
Pop the pic.
All right,
pop the pic. We'll see what we got going on here. Let me get back. I've lost my picture. Sometimes that happens on my website. Okay, here we go. Are we on the same page?
Well, I no.
Inside jokes don't work well with people who are listening, but
yeah, then I'm not sure I know who you're talking about.
Well, this guy walked into the PNC Bank in Creve Coeur on Olive and robbed it. They have not found him. They're still looking for him. They're looking for that guy right there.
He's definitely got my fashion sense.
Well, if he's if this guy's my friend, I know where they can find him.
Right.
But he doesn't need money. That's for sure. And I'm going to send a picture to my friend of this guy and say, I hope this wasn't you. I hope times are, you need to sell some of your sports cars before you go rob a. I mean, robberies are not fun. They're not funny. They're not laughable. Obviously, if you're the person where you stand there and somebody says, give me all your money, or hands you a note at the bank counter and says, give me your cash. I got something on me that could hurt you. But people are still walking right into banks knowing that they're going to be videotaped. No, it's 2025, people. There are cameras everywhere, especially throughout the St. Louis area.
You shouldn't walk out your front door and assume that you'll never, that
hell
you're
no,
safe from a camera.
That's another good point. And we won't get you started on 5, because every time we get you started on 5, you won't stop. Technology.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Mr. 5.
You're saying half of it. Yeah.
We don't want to get dropped.
Right.
Some of that stuff has happened in the past as well. No, but who goes and robs a PNC Bank in the middle of the day in the St. Louis area on Olive, as busy as can be? And here's the interesting thing. I guess this was part of the plan because it's that busy. He fled on foot. and they were not able to capture him.
Well, he blended in. He looks like a normal person. Yeah.
No, they're still trying to figure out how much money he got away with. They didn't know.
But why you wouldn't like at least wear a COVID mask and use that as the excuse? You know what I mean? Something. Try to conceal your identity.
More power to that dude, man. Yeah. I don't know, but
I mean, if he got away.
Yeah, he did. He got away. That guy got away at the PNC Bank on Olive, somehow, some way blending in. And people who drive that road know that. I mean, I guess you could run around and jump in a car, run around the building. Because I'm sorry, he doesn't look that fast.
No.
You can look at people sometimes and now there is that occasional person that, you know, you'll look at them and go, damn, they don't look that fast. And they may be fast. That's me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's me.
That's
me.
I believe.
I look big, but I can move.
Right.
I can climb like a bear.
Right.
And bears climb trees really fast. You've seen bears climb trees, right?
I've seen bears, yeah.
They're fast and they climb trees fast.
I'd like to see you race a bear.
That's right. That guy did not look fast. I don't know what the hell he's thinking, trying to freaking get out around St. Louis. You know, another story that happened, it's, you know, we're having a little fun with that, but there is something that was serious yesterday. And, you know, you're talking about life experiences and imagining putting yourself into a situation. And then, like, what would you do if you were there? You know, St. Louis is a great place, but we know we also have a problem with crime. It's just a fact. We have a problem with crime in this area at certain points in time. I go into Home Depot a lot, or it's myself, or with my girlfriend, family, friends, you name it. I was in a Home Depot the other day. Well, a man died after a shooting inside the Ferguson Home Depot yesterday. Shot inside Home Depot at 11:06. At 11:06 during it. See, the scary thing is, obviously, it was an intended deal. But if you're in the area and you're just sitting there, you know, looking for screws, you're looking for plywood, you're looking for whatever you need on your home, and bullets start flying, I mean, that's a serious deal. And yes, that could happen to anybody at any point in time. That, by the way, the Home Depot at the 10,900 block of New Halls Ferry Road. Police said, you know, one person was shot inside the store and died right there at the scene. The identity of that person was not named yet, but they said, you know, one witness said, I felt scared for my life. I guess so. You come to Home Depot to buy garbage bags and go shopping, not to dodge bullets. You know, Police Chief Troy Doyle over there in Ferguson said that officers were able to arrive on the scene in under 3 minutes after the initial call. That's pretty quick.
They didn't say anything about a motive behind it or anything?
Not yet. Well, yeah.
Was it personal?
3 minutes, you call 911 and police are there in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless somebody just happens to be driving by. I mean, they don't have a massive staff.
I mean, it is a pretty busy area that it's in, so there could have been an officer nearby.
To answer your question, I just want to get that out there too. Security footage showed a physical fight between the shooter and the victim. Yeah, so it was something that was already obviously it was intended. It was a target. It only a physical fight that lasted a minute is a pretty long time for a fight. If you've ever been in a fight, a minute is a long time for a fight.
A minute seems like 30. Yeah.
Dude, you start fighting with somebody for 15 seconds, you may be huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
So they fought for about a minute before the shooting occurred. So
fighting definitely takes a lot out of you.
Oh yeah. No, it could. It's still to come on the show. What does it mean to be a St. Louis native? Do you have to live in the St. Louis city? Can you live in the suburbs? It's a question that a local news station asked, and they put out, and it got a lot of tread on Reddit. It was a conversation that started on Reddit that they picked up. What does it mean to be a St. Louis native? Can you say you're a St. Louis native if you live in St. Charles? Do you want to? When you travel around the country and you say, I'm from St. Louis, where do you feel? We'll jump into that too, plus the other headlines, lots of headlines still to get to. This is Art City Now. We are your information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with more coming up right after this. You can also stream us on YouTube and X at Arch City Now. And also, if you have any questions, you want to get involved from an advertising standpoint, as other companies are, because we do have a pretty big reach here from a podcasting standpoint and the AM signal standpoint, you can do so. You can email us, archcitynow@gmail.com, archcitynow@gmail.com. Once again, the weather is really good now. It is sunny. It feels like summer. Lots of sun headed for today and probably the next 7 days. Get ready. Make the most of this June 19th. Happy Juneteenth as well. Back with more of our show right after this.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of...
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios. This is the Lou Information Station, KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
USA Radio News. I'm John Summers. The Trump administration sending another 2,000 National Guard troops to control protesters in Los Angeles. The mayor, Karen Bass, questioned the need for the troops.
Why do you have these young people here who have to miss work, miss school, leave their families, and they're here for no reason? In some instances, and I'm sure you've seen the pictures, in some instances, sleeping on the floor of the federal building. Why are we doing this to them?
The U.S. Northern Command said Tuesday Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth activated the troops under an Army code which allows the president to call the National Guard into federal service when the U.S. is under invasion. Israel struck a key Iranian nuclear site Thursday while Iranian missiles hit an Israeli hospital. These events occurred as President Donald Trump kept the world wondering about whether the U.S. will join Israel in airstrikes seeking to destroy Tehran's nuclear facilities. Reuters says a week of Israeli air and missile strikes against its primary opponent has wiped out the top echelon of Iran's military command and damaged its nuclear capabilities, while Iranian retaliatory strikes have killed at least 24 civilians across Israel. A deal to merge U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel is finalized.
U.S. Steel will keep its headquarters in Pittsburgh, and more than 100,000 jobs are expected to be created across the country. Nippon Steel will invest $11 billion in new investments in U.S. Steel by 2028. The deal also ensures that the majority of U.S. Steel's board of directors, including its CEO, will be American citizens. I'm Matt Mattinson.
Fort Worth officials touting the recent completion of a big 2-month-long law enforcement operation. They say the multi-agency Operation Showdown ended with 76 arrests, the confiscation of hundreds of firearms, and almost 50 pounds of drugs taken off the streets. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. You can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel. A delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here. And when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in a special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Arch City Now with Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. This is Arch City Now. Vic Faust here. Projo in the house as well. Glad you're with us. It is Thursday. It is June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Several celebrations going on throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area today as well. The Missouri History Museum is one of them. Also, you're streaming right now on X and YouTube at Arch City Now. You can also jump in on the show on the chat line. You can do that at those sites. Just make your comments, say hi, come in, let us know how you're feeling and what's happening. You can also give us a call, 855-282-8255. That's 855-282-8255. You can jump into the show, talk about whatever you want, what's happening throughout St. Louis, what's happening in your neck of the woods, because that's what this show is all about. It's St. Louis. It's all about St. Louis, and not only us, but the other shows that come up throughout the day as well. Coming up in just under an hour, you've got Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Cardinal broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. So check them out. They always have a really good show as well. Cardinals back in action today. Busy day. They're in Chicago. The weather's supposed to be better. Last night's game was postponed. That means the Cardinals have a doubleheader today. 1:10 is the first pitch for the first game. Fedde on the mound for the Cardinals. He's had a pretty good year. Also, 440, McCreevy, the rookie. He's had a couple outings, not been too bad. 101, 3.09 ERA. So hopefully they can take care of business. They're a better team. They're a better coach than the White Sox. And of course, they need to go prove that, take both games today, come back because they take on the Reds for a weekend series. They'll be hosting the Reds. And then also a 4-game series with the first place Cubs, who they trail by 7 games. That's right. They trail the Cubs by 7 games. Weather, we had some storms come through the St. Louis metropolitan area last night, but exit the storms, enter the heat, sunshine and heat for the next 7-8 days. You're talking about after today, like starting Friday into next Friday, temperatures every day over 90 degrees. Over 90 degrees, and I don't see any precipitation. I don't, at least none expected at this point in time. So our hot, sizzling St. Louis summer days will be there. We know how we deal with that. A lot of people still trying to work on their homes from the tornadoes. There are still all kinds of locations offering assistance. And by the way, FEMA has sent more people to town to try to work with tornadoes. You can contact FEMA. The Red Cross, they'll come out. They'll help you with your roof and assistance as well. You just got to give them a call. You literally call the Red Cross and they will help take care of you from that standpoint as well. So glad that they're here in town doing that. FEMA bringing more people to town. And of course, we've already got several people and organizations, local organizations on the ground helping people. What happened is going to take a long time to clean up. Other news from the first hour that in headlines that are happening that we like to talk about. Glad that this happened. McBride's Homes says that they have paid all of their liens that were filed by a local Chesterfield contractor. That means people's homes that had liens put on them that they would have had to pay thousands of dollars has now been taken care of. So McBride ends that, takes care of that. People in South St. Louis City, parts of South St. Louis City, are under a boil water advisory because of what's happening right now. They had a water main break, and that's a shame. Don't want to be dealing with that, but it happens. Those things can happen. And of course, people are dealing with that in the summer. So hopefully people can deal the best with they can. I was trying to find some of the specific areas. I mean, you're talking down near Wilson Avenue, Columbia Avenue. My eyes are going out on me. I wish I could be better for that, but I can't.
You can zoom in by pinch and zoom.
Okay, I can't do it right now.
Okay,
I would, but that's a
I'll
great
show you
idea.
later.
It's like, show me, Job. Show me. Help me. I'm trying to figure it out.
Just
what
gotta
else?
use 2 fingers.
Yes. Soccer is a big deal throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Just reminding people, the Creve Coeur Soccer Park back in action, hosting games. They haven't had any games since March 14th. They had to redo 8 turf fields. They did that. Were able to do that in under 60 days. So big time work being done over there. Congratulations on taking care of that. Another big headline that we had. I mean, you think of the storms. I mean, so many areas of the entire area getting hit from that standpoint. Also, we went to that break. We were given headlines talking about the gentleman being shot inside Ferguson. Just crime happening. You don't want to see it, but it does happen. Okay, what does it mean to be a St. Louis City native? Projo, I'll be curious to get your opinion on, to you, what it means. For example, there was a poll done in regards to, and it was a Reddit conversation. If you live in, do you have to live in St. Louis City to say that you are a St. Louis native? Or do you say I'm from St. Louis when you travel? Can you live in the suburbs and say that you're a St. Louis native? To me, 100%, of course you're from St. Louis. Of course you're from St. Louis if you're from the St. Louis metro area. But there are people that I still find and talk to in St. Louis that have no idea what it means to be from the St. Louis metropolitan area. So, Projo, I leave it open to you after I said what I said.
I pretty much followed the same. I was born in Broken Bow, Nebraska. I grew up in O'Fallon, which is in St. Charles County. However, I consider myself from St. Louis because I've spent enough time, because I live near it, inside St. Louis. So, I mean, I feel like if you consider that you're from somewhere, you have a pretty deep knowledge of that area more than any other area. So I feel like that's a huge factor.
Okay. Well, here's what some of the stuff that's going on. I'm looking at this right now, and I find it interesting because there's nearly 3 million people that live in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area, over 16 counties. That's according to U.S. Census figures. And we know there's a wide mix of communities in Missouri and Illinois. That's right. There's us Metro East people. That's a whole nother topic. Are you from St. Louis if you're from the Metro East? Yes, the St. Louis area.
Yeah, I mean,
But people in Chicago, because I've dealt with some of these dipwads, and that's me saying nice. You're not from St. Louis if you're from Illinois, if you live in Illinois. And I'm like, just, you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like St. Louis. I'm not a Chicago guy. Okay, there it is. It's out on the table.
I bet there's more Cardinal fans in the metro, St. Louis, Illinois metro area than there are in Chicago.
Well, yeah, okay, I get it. So this whole situation, I mean, if you ask somebody who lives in the St. Louis metro where they're from, their answers could be different, right? To outsiders, the reply could be as simple as St. Louis. But if 2 people from the St. Louis region are talking, you're more likely to hear a specific suburb or municipality mentioned, like Belleville, Florissant, South County. And I'm not getting into the whole high school thing. We're not going to do that. From all my shows, I refuse to do that.
We actually need to do a segment. Where
we don't. No, we don't. No. When I finished at Mizzou and came back to St. Louis, I lived with a guy, a younger man at that time, Dennis, who was from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And he moved here and he hated this place, Rob. He's like, you people in St. Louis think that you're so damn cool. You're arrogant. You're standoffish. You stick to your own little communities. You act like you're this big East Coast city, and you're not. You're not that cool.
Where's this friend from?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Okay. I had somebody say the similar thing. They were from Chicago, saying that Chicago people are much better people than St. Louis people. I just didn't get it. I still don't.
So, but what does it actually mean to be from St. Louis? To me, you're from St. Louis if you're from the St. Louis metro area. That includes all those counties, and it includes the Metro East, Belleville, where I happen to go to high school. Thank you very much, Althoff Catholic. Is it that? What does it mean to you, Projo, to be from St. Louis?
Well, I mean, I think it's, for one, it's the closest city of the place that I actually grew up in. However, I don't know. I feel like it was close enough to where I could. I don't understand why it's a issue.
Well, help me out, Projo. I'm trying to type something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need you to talk.
I just really don't understand. If you're from the St. Louis area, you're from St. Louis.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. Are there people out there that if you, I mean, I'm just here. Are there people who say, no, you're not from St. Louis if you are not from the city of St. Louis? I thought it was silly, but allegedly there are the comments that started to take place. Oh, well, you can't be from St. Louis if you're not, I mean, we're talking about 3 million people, once again, living in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area. So I say there are 3 million people who claim St. Louis.
I wasn't even born here, and I still am from St. Louis. I'm sorry.
When did you move here?
Well, I mean, I was a baby. I literally was 8 years old when we moved to Maplewood.
Okay, well, the debate was centered around being from St. Louis. The matter resurfaced yesterday in a Reddit discussion of all places. And who can claim to be a native St. Louisan? This was a conversation I saw last year as well. You get all kinds of responses. I mean, but if you go to social media, you're going to get everything. You know that. Projo likes to get on social media and argue with people about a variety of things. I don't have time for it.
I love a good debate.
Yeah, okay, good for you. I can't stand. It's like I've tried to get you out of that, and you know it. Why waste time debating people on anything on social media?
Because I don't know. Sometimes you educate people, and there's a little satisfaction in that.
Are you educating them though? Are you winning that argument?
As far as I know.
Have you ever said, "Oh, that's a great point. You're a great man. You are so smart." Thank you.
I have had people
Thank you for
things,
educating.
Yes.
No, teach you because you're humble.
Right.
But have somebody actually said, you know what? We've been in a debate. I'm wrong. You're right. I'm going to change the way I think.
That is a good point.
Nobody ever does that.
I've seen people back down, but not like completely give in.
You're the best person in the world. Thank you for educating me on social media. Okay. Allegedly, many of the Reddit users replied they agreed when talking to people from outside the region. It's common to say you're from St. Louis, but I have had people look at me. Oh, you're from St. Louis, but it says you were born in Belleville. Yeah, I'm from the St. Louis area. I'm not from Illinois. I'm from the St. Louis area in Illinois. I can't tell you how many times I've had to deal with this situation over the years with people outside of the St. Louis area. But St. Louis people get it, don't they? I hope so. One Reddit user pointed out that parts of St. Louis County use St. Louis Mo in mailing addresses for unincorporated communities, just like addresses within the city of St. Louis, to the confusion of how to identify from being from St. Louis. Another Reddit user made an argument that most people who grew up in the St. Louis area did grow up in the suburbs in the past several decades, and that residents of St. Louis County, at the very least, should be considered from St. Louis, if not because of geography, because of its name. I'm just surprised that this came through. I was like, you know what? The show is all about St. Louis, so why not bring it to the people? Why not bring it up?
Sorry, if I feel like I'm from St. Louis and somebody tries to tell me I'm not, okay.
You currently live in Moscow Mills, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you still consider that to be the St. Louis area, right?
Yeah, it's St. Louis metro area, sure.
I agree 100%, but there are other people. And is it kind of hoity-toity? I'm from St. Louis. You're not. I'm from the city.
Yeah, I think that's definitely pretentious for somebody for somebody to just, but you're not from St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis.
I just figured that
live here.
I just figured that most people would already just say, even if you grew up in the city and you've lived there your whole life, I figure most people would say, yeah, you're from St. Louis or consider you to be from St. Louis, but allegedly there's not.
That's why I say I don't understand where the issue lies.
I don't either. But we thought we'd bring it to the table. I mean, there's more to get to. I mean, there's history here. We already know St. Louis is a different type of place. It is. And and
it's a melting pot.
It is a melting pot. There's some history here, which makes people how they are. But I've traveled the country and I'm telling you, it is I'll just say a unique place.
Yeah.
I'm a St. Louisan, but I also worked in other parts of the country for 17, 18 years while visiting and coming back and being with family, but also living in other parts of the country. And St. Louis is unique.
I've lived in very few, but I've traveled all over the United States.
Oh, brother. We'll get into more of that coming up. We got to take a quick break. We are the information station. We are live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with more right after this on this very topic, and we'll give you the history as well.
The Awesome One, Earl Austin Jr., talking local sports each Saturday morning from 9 to 11. Only on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill has a new menu. But don't freak out. Hot Shots favorites are still there, like their famous wings, tacos, burgers, and pizzas. Plus, sure to be new faves like Big Philly egg rolls, the Bold and Hearty Slugger sandwich, the Buffalo chicken pizza, and 2 new wing sauces, Carolina Gold and Bourbon Glaze. And making a comeback, it's the return of Hot Shots' legendary waffle fries. So now there's even more to love at Hot Shots. Come try out the new menu at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Find the location nearest you at hotshotsnet.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
This is your LootInfo.com news update. Post offices are closed today to mark the Juneteenth holiday. The day marks the liberation of the last enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And a Juneteenth youth block party will be held between 4 and 7 p.m. today on Louisiana Avenue with the Believe It Youth Organization. A pedestrian was struck and killed early Wednesday morning on Interstate 70 at Salisbury Street. St. Louis Metropolitan Police said the man tried crossing the interstate when he was struck. He died after suffering, quote, catastrophic injuries. 1 in 10 people in Missouri have unclaimed money coming to them, according to the state treasurer. The money can come from uncollected insurance policy proceeds, government refunds, utility deposits, and money from prior jobs. The total unclaimed is $1.5 billion. You can check at treasurer.mo.gov. St. Louis ranks number 4 in the U.S. when it comes to mail carriers being bitten by dogs. St. Louis and Kansas City are both in the top 10. Missouri had a total of 207 attacks in 2024. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com. I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your luinfo.com weather update. We have high pressure taking over the pattern for a while. Temperatures will be pretty warm all the way through the upcoming weekend. Sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid-80s. Overnight looks clear, upper 60s, and then we'll make it to about the 90-degree mark on Friday. It looks like we'll stay sunny and mid to upper 90s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done. Frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station content can be found online at luinfo.com, on our Lou Info YouTube page, and you can find all our local shows on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search by name or find all the links at luinfo.com. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We love what we do. We love joining you. It's Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Pro Joe is alongside. He's our producer. Jump in on the show if you want to. You can stream us on YouTube and X at Arch City Now. You can also check out everything about our show and the show that follows us and all the shows throughout the day on this 24/7 podcast platform, which is also on radio as well. You can do that at luinfo.com. luinfo.com. You can also give us a call if you want to jump in on the debate, 855-282-8255. That is 855-282-8255. If you want to jump in on the chat line and join our podcast platform, we love it when you do, and a lot of people like to talk with us and each other. You can do that by commenting on YouTube or X. A lot of people watching there. Lots going on, a lot of subjects, a lot of headlines. We'll do that. We do this Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central follows us from 8 to 10 a.m. as well, with the former Blue Cam Jansen and St. Louis broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. All right, one of the topics that we were talking about before we went to break, and this show is all about St. Louis, what makes us who we are, what's happening in your neck of the woods, what's the water cooler talk, what's moving the needle for you, what's good, what might not be so good. And of course, shout outs to anybody along the way. It was I think it was Local Fox that posted a Reddit conversation about what does it mean to be a St. Louisan? How are people from here? Who gets to say they're from St. Louis if you want? Okay.
You got to love Reddit.
At the end of the day, what's your experience with Reddit?
It's just, it's usually a bunch of haters hating on things.
Aren't there are a bunch of haters hating on things all over social media?
There's an epidemic about it on Reddit though.
Mm-hmm.
From my experiences, it could be a unique experience.
What does it mean to be a St. Louis native? Can you still be from the Metro East? In my humble opinion, yes. If you're from Deep South County, yes. And I go to the chat line for this, and Greg says it's the area covered by the news station, broadcast area. That is exactly how TV does it. They call it your DMA, your metro. Where does the TV go? If you get TV news, I won't necessarily say that though, because St. Louis news, they go to, I don't know. You could go out an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're from St. Louis if it's the TV news? I don't know about that.
Not if you get all the way to Jeff City, then you're from Jeff City.
Yeah, I'm saying the counties.
Right.
And it is, it's 79 neighborhoods in St. Louis City. Okay. That's fine. 79, but it goes far beyond that, right? Of course it does. It goes far beyond that.
Oh, for sure. City limits does not mean a thing.
You know, does it matter if you're a St. Louis native or from St. Louis? Is that a contentious thing? I mean, I don't know. There's more to worry about in life, right?
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Right. That's where I'm like, okay, I know this can become a situation there, but it's like, okay. Once again, as
City limits only matter for taxes.
well, there's 16 counties. I mean, the greater St. Louis metropolitan area covers parts of 16 counties. If you're from the greater metro area, I would say yes, you can say you're from St. Louis, and it makes it easier. It just makes it easier. And trust me, I had to deal with this hit being born in Belleville, then moving back to go to high school there. Yes, if you're from the Metro East, you're from the St. Louis area. But people from other parts of the country don't understand that, including the guy that I lived with from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, who said that we acted, a good dude, East Coast guy. He's like, you guys think you're an East Coast city in St. Louis. You really do. And people who aren't from here and move here, every single person I've met has said it took them time to kind of learn and get involved. There's been a couple athletes that I knew over the years here that said it wasn't that bad for them. But people that I know moving here say absolutely it's difficult to integrate throughout the St. Louis community. That's just what I hear. That's just what I've been told. So the course conversation was, are you from St. Louis? Are you a St. Louis native? Blah, blah, blah. You know, according to the most recent Reddit question, as described, and this was from the website, from a law standpoint, to quote, you are a citizen of a particular place, region, or nation by virtue of being born there. By definition, one might argue that only people born within the city limits qualify as a native St. Louisan, regardless if they were born and raised in the suburbs. You can say you're a native St. Louisan if you were born in the suburbs. I'm sorry. You can. Meanwhile, the Census Bureau defines the St. Louis metropolitan area to include the city of St. Louis and all of its surrounding counties in Missouri and Illinois. So yes, you are from the St. Louis area if that is happening. Even you out in Moscow Mills, buddy, you can claim St. Louis if you want to.
Yeah, and I actually was at a younger age when we moved to St. Louis. We traveled around a lot. Apparently, I don't have any memories other than St. Louis, so I'm from St. Louis.
And if somebody wants to tell you, Projo, that you're not a St. Louis native, too bad, so sad.
Right.
You tell them, too bad, so
I've
sad.
got the skyline tattooed on my arm. It's
Are
a
you
done
serious?
deal. Yeah, you've seen it.
Okay, okay. Do you have the camera availability?
I do.
You bring up a tattoo, and it's the skyline of St. Louis City. We got to see it. And this is producer Projo. We don't get to see him all the time, but sometimes we do.
It's not that great. However, it is a tattoo of St. Louis.
All right, let's check this out. Let's take some time. For our people listening on the show, you need to check us out on YouTube and X at Arch City Now as Projo shows us the skyline. Oh, can you bring it a little closer to the camera? What's up, STL? Is that what it says? No,
yes, that was actually.
You got to hold it up closer.
Well, I got to talk on the radio too.
Okay, there you go. You put that over, and I just want to see you get it closer. I wanted to check.
Well,
but I've worked with you for what, a year, 2 years,
and you never noticed that.
I never even knew it.
I wear long sleeves a lot, so. But yeah,
look at that.
Yeah.
How long ago did you have that artwork done on your arm?
Oh my God, this was my first tattoo. Actually, this part, the actual skyline was my first tattoo. Then I had all the color and everything added later on.
Interesting.
But What's Up STL was a marketing company. My first business that I
like
What's Up
that.
STL Web Promotions and Design.
Okay. I like it. I like it. So there you go. We settled it. If you've lived in this area and you consider yourself to be a St. Louis native, then you're a St. Louis native. From the chat line, I was born at a hospital in St. Louis City, but parents lived in St. Louis County. Okay, you're from the St. Louis area. And I always thought it was interesting. This goes back 6-7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago now, when we tried to do the city-county merger. Okay, to me, from a business standpoint, it makes 100% sense. It does. And there are people that, oh, how dare you say that? when I broke it down, it seemed like it made sense. But people in the county, I was talking to a friend of mine, Chesterfield Mayor Bob Nation. He left, retired. Hope he's doing well. Wanted no part of it. Said it was a bad idea. Even people in St. Louis City, because jobs were going to be eliminated and they were going to be, it's leaning out, becoming leaner and meaner. There are arguments for St. Louis City County merger. There are. I'm not saying I promote it. I'm just saying there are arguments for it. But that's where it kind of gets confusing too, because we have all these municipalities. You have 79 different neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis. And then you don't have the city and county together. It confuses people. Joe and I were talking to a business guy from Detroit in the last 5 months, and he couldn't figure out, well, St. Louis, is that St. Louis? Is it St. Louis City? I'm like, no, it's all one together. And it's like, oh, what? This doesn't make sense. I'm like, okay, it's all good. We'll figure it out. By the way, there's been a water main break. It happened overnight in South City. It's put some customers in a precautionary boil advisory. Be safe, be careful from what's happening when it comes to that and that standpoint. Also, sunshine and heat headed for St. Louis for the next 7-8 days. No precipitation on the mix, or at least it looks like it. Temperatures over 90. It feels like summer in St. Louis once again. We are Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. That was the arm and face and voice of Projo, the producer, who was there. We're grateful for him jumping in today and showing us that. Anything that you guys want to talk about, you let us know. We'll get it on there. We'll talk about what's happening. Any shout outs that you want to give, we love to give the shout outs as well. And if you want to give us a note, you can do it at Arch City. ArchCityNow at gmail.com. ArchCityNow at gmail.com. If you didn't see this guy earlier, brazen bank robber over on Olive, PNC Bank on Olive. Somehow, some way, this guy gets away. He looks like a friend of mine. I have confirmed it is not him.
Did he text you back?
Yes, that is not him. But this guy, as we set the scene for you, yesterday afternoon or yesterday during the day, decided to walk in to the PNC Bank on Olive, very busy area, and rob the bank. And he was able to get away. He was able to blend in on foot after robbing.
And with those shorts on. I mean, those are loud shorts. How do you not recognize? I mean, he had to have changed his clothes after he left.
I don't know. They're still looking for him, though.
Right.
He was able to get away. Is that a disguise? What, do you shave the beard? Somebody asked if that was you. Was that Projo?
Like I said, he definitely stole my style.
You can keep the picture up from the chat line. Yes, an EF1 tornado yesterday, touchdown Clarksville, Missouri, 40 miles north of St. Louis area. I thought it was a little more north, but yes, we showed the video of that tornado touching down. Thankfully, it didn't do a lot of damage, or at least that's what we've been told. We'd have to wait and see how that goes. But this guy is able. I mean, bank robberies don't happen that much anymore, and the banks don't have as much money as they used to anyway. And there's so much security and cameras, but this guy thought that he could pull it off. We're told they still don't know exactly how much money he was able to get away with.
Well, I'd say so far he definitely pulled it off.
Yeah, absolutely he did. He absolutely pulled it off. So if you recognize that guy, let Creve Coeur Police know. It's actually in Creve Coeur, the PNC Bank. Dude's wearing a Cardinals hat. Are those jorts, or what are those? Capris?
Yeah, they're definitely jorts, but
Longer
they're
jorts.
ripped and torn, and they've got colorful things inside the tears. I mean, I don't know about the shorts. When I say he stole my style, I don't know that I would wear those shorts.
I was biting my tongue. Maybe the sweatshirt and the hat.
Right. Yeah, that's me every day. The hoodie and the hat for sure is me every day.
Man, oh man.
Even on a 90-degree day, I'm wearing a hoodie with long sleeves.
I'm just glad it's not the guy who I know. A quick story too. The Oklahoma City bombing, when that happened, there's a guy who I know in the Chesterfield area who says the FBI, CIA, police showed up at his house because the initial sketches, this goes all the way back to what, 94?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
They thought it was him. He showed up at his house and they're like, freeze! They attack him. There was a news article about it. And my friend Bill says it was one of the craziest moments, probably the craziest moment of his life, to be confused with the Oklahoma City bombing suspect.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's what, and then when I saw the picture of this guy, and I know somebody who that looks like.
I believe that was Timothy McVeigh, by the way.
Yeah, who has plenty of money. Well, he had partners. And they thought that he might have been a partner or a sketch, but the sketch came out and he's like, no, that's not me. Chatline says those were fancy dad jean shorts, allegedly. Okay, this is Art City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Pro Joe alongside producing the show. You can watch us on X and YouTube, Art City Now. You can jump in on the show as well. You can call us if you want, 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255. You can also learn everything about what's happening on the show, luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com. We are your information station, live and on demand at luinfo.com. Back with our final segment right after this, catching up on all the headlines of the day and what's happening.
Earl Austin Jr. and Coach Ron Zetcher, two encyclopedias of local sports knowledge, together each Saturday morning at 10. Only on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
This is your LootInfo.com news update. Post offices are closed today to mark the Juneteenth holiday. The day marks the liberation of the last enslaved people in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And a Juneteenth youth block party will be held between 4 and 7 p.m. today on Louisiana Avenue with the Believe It Youth Organization. A pedestrian was struck and killed early Wednesday morning on Interstate 70 at Salisbury Street. St. Louis Metropolitan Police said the man tried crossing the interstate when he was struck. He died after suffering, quote, catastrophic injuries. 1 in 10 people in Missouri have unclaimed money coming to them, according to the state treasurer. The money can come from uncollected insurance policy proceeds, government refunds, utility deposits, and money from prior jobs. The total unclaimed is $1.5 billion. You can check at treasurer.mo.gov. St. Louis ranks number 4 in the U.S. when it comes to mail carriers being bitten by dogs. St. Louis and Kansas City are both in the top 10. Missouri had a total of 207 attacks in 2024. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. We have high pressure taking over the pattern for a while. Temperatures will be pretty warm all the way through the upcoming weekend. Sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid-80s. Overnight looks clear, upper 60s, and then we'll make it to about the 90-degree mark on Friday. It looks like we'll stay sunny and mid to upper 90s for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com.
Looking to get organized and support local? At St. Louis Closet Company, we've been designing custom closets and storage solutions right here in St. Louis for over 30 years. From walk-in closets to home offices and even pantries, we create personalized, organized spaces that fit your lifestyle and your space. Built locally and installed professionally. Call 314-781-9000 for your free estimate or visit stlouisclosetco.com today.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
The Lou Information Station. Yeah, we're a talk station, but not your daddy or granddaddy or great-granddaddy's talk station. We're the new kids on the block. No, not those new kids, just regular new kids. Anyway, the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 online at louinfo.com. And we actually know what all of that means. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. 7:46 is the time on this sunny St. Louis summer morning, June 19th. You just heard the updates. It's going to be a beautiful day. A lot of hotter temperatures are on the way over the next 7 days. No real signs of precipitation in that time either. So get ready for summer, whatever it is you do, and enjoying all of that time that we're going to get. We keep you updated on what's happening throughout the St. Louis area. A lot of headlines, kind of kickstart the day, help you get going in the morning as the sun is shining. We love what we do. We bring the energy. We love it when you guys get involved as well. You can, of course, stream us right now on X and YouTube at Arch City Now. You can join the conversations. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods as well. You can also give us a call, 855-282-8255. And you can learn more about the entire network at louinfo.com. Once again, that's louinfo.com. Following us at 8 o'clock, goes 8 to 10 every day, Monday through Friday, Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue Cam Jansen and St. Louis broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Like to get you updated on all the headlines from the day as different people come in and out of the shows. I did see, I'm not that familiar with Zaxby's. Are you familiar with a company called Zaxby's, Pro Joe?
I have no clue.
Well, they're eyeing the St. Louis area for 20 locations right now. 20 new chicken restaurants.
Oh, it's a chicken place.
Chicken place. Yeah, as many as 20 in the region. I had Zaxby's somewhere. I can't remember where it was. South. It was in the South somewhere. They're out of Atlanta. But
I'm gonna guess it's spicy.
Well, I don't. They have nearly 1,000 locations throughout the United States. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot.
I mean, Southern chicken's usually spicy. That's why.
Yeah, they offer a menu with chicken fingers, wings, salad, sandwiches. Its first store was in Statesboro, Georgia. In the Atlanta area. I guess that's where it would be. So they're coming. They're coming. Do we need another chicken place?
Right.
Do we?
It's kind of like the burger joint, you know, the explosion with burger joints is doing the same with chicken restaurants now.
Yeah, it might be. No, that's a good point. I know. It's a very good point. Who knows? Yeah. So Zaxby's. I knew I'd heard it. I just couldn't remember where I'd heard it, but that was a new headline that had come out this morning. If there's something that we missed that needs to get attention, please let us know that as well. That's what we like to do, making sure people know what gets them started for the day as well. We told you that the Creve Coeur Soccer Park is back open now 3 months after the March 14th tornado. They did a really good job returfing 8 fields in less than 60 days. And if you know anything about construction, that is that's a big deal, especially when the amount of work that it comes to turfing a field. And Projo asked me if I have experience turfing a field.
Do you have experience?
I
fields?
do. Absolutely, I do.
Where'd you get that?
I'm out and about. Jack of all trades, master of none.
I'm being
also,
told we have a caller, by the way.
Okay. By the way, Hot Shots, one of your favorite places in Arnold, is reopening as well. 3 months after that same darn tornado.
Oh, wow.
314. So the 314 day tornado, they'll be firing things back up from that standpoint. So, kudos to them. It's tough when you're trying to get that work done. Okay, who do we have calling in today? What do we want to talk about?
I don't know.
All right, we go to the lines. This is a bit. We don't have a name. Hello. Who do we have?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I enjoy your show. How is St. Louis going to be able to attract any new venues in the future, as far as like stadiums, to be competing against other cities?
Great question.
To draw major like NCAA events or anything like that, because the Dome is just that thing. I don't care if they do 50 million, 100 million. That thing just needs to be torn down.
Yeah,
you need a new stadium to really attract good events. I mean, this is ridiculous. I can't believe, even though the population is declining, St. Louis used to be a major market where people wanted to come. Now there's no one wants to come here, And I hate to say that, but I talk to other people from out of state. They don't want to come here.
Why do you hate to say it?
Attract them.
Why do you hate to say it? The Dome needs help. We literally had a kid. Yeah. We've had issues downtown in St. Louis. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
Why do you hate to say it? Just go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying I want to see the city get better, and I'm not trying to be negative about it, but I'm just saying people are just putting blinders on, and they think they're just going to, put some paint and let it dry, and people are going to come here. No one wants to come here. I've talked to other people. They just avoid the city as much as they can.
Well, this has been happening.
Sporting event or whatever. But
yeah, I moved back in 2015, and trust me, the St. Louis groups downtown, Explore St. Louis now, and the St. Louis Visitors and Convention Bureau, and getting people in has been something that they were very, very, very concerned about. Not only from money and upgrades, but from image standpoint. I'm sorry, it is. If you talk and compete again, I was told this. If you're competing with Indianapolis, Chicago, Nashville, Minneapolis, these are Atlanta, even in some cases. St. Louis was not stacking up well. And you're right. You lose that huge economic impact. You bring up the 50 million. That's the latest that we hear. 50 million upgrade on the Dome. Another local official said it needs 150 million upgrade to adequately compete against other venues. And then we're not even talking about the image that has happened. And we already know, the young lady who lost her legs from a speeding driver, which was sad.
Yeah.
And then we had another young man lose his life about a week ago in the city from this.
Yeah, I think he was from Springfield, right? He's from Springfield, Missouri.
I'm not exactly where he's from, but these things happen. Of course, you got to take care. Number one, of the venues. Number two, it's the safety. And number three, it's the image. And sometimes that takes a generation. It's not a great situation, but that's why we have to pull our weight and hold people responsible as best as we can.
Yeah, but under the current climate now, like you're looking at like Oklahoma City. They're
another
moving St. Louis.
Another great.
They got a sports team.
A great call. Great call. Oklahoma City, yeah. And guess what? The crime isn't anything close to what it is here. It's a quote newer city. St. Louis is an older city. We have to celebrate what we have, but make it as good as we possibly can. And then Oklahoma City, of course, has a basketball team that's, on the verge of winning an NBA title, which only brings a lot more positivity to their city. I get it, man. I do.
Right. But the thing is, I was bringing up Oklahoma City was because, that was an up-and-coming city. That's why they moved to these cities. A lot of these owners are not stupid. Like, they blame Kroenke, but Kroenke wanted to get out of St. Louis. He already stated the reason why, for crime and lack of economic, I don't know, whatever he stated. But,
well, we screwed it up first.
I mean,
St. Louis city officials screwed it up first. At first, that goes a lot. There's a long story to this. And then when St. Louis got serious, it was too late. And then Kroenke was playing us.
Yeah. It seems like they always react. They wait till something comes up and they think and then when something bad happens, then they try to overreact and they try to, we try to do this and that, and they spend $22 million on some kind of, front. What is it in the city by the riverfront? They want to put a stadium down there. Come on, that's not it. That wouldn't even fly.
Hey.
I mean, you got all these flooding. So I'm just saying
it's going to take
Louis
time.
Needs to get his act together, or it's just going to be another, basically a third world city. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good show. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Didn't get a name on the call, but it was a great call, and I appreciate it. We talk about those things. This is going to take time. It is what it is. We have to own who we are. There's a lot of positive here. There is, but there's negative. And the first thing to cleaning up a problem that you may have is admitting that you have a problem. You can't just go, oh, we're great. People in this county don't like us. I think that's changed. I think Kara Spencer is a great start as mayor. I really do. That doesn't mean I agree with everything with Kara Spencer, but I think she's a good start. And I can also tell you this, that there's a lot of business people and money investors from St. Louis County and other parts that believe in Kara Spencer and believe in the city. But once again, you've got to have the crime down. You've got to take care of the crime. One connects to the other and connects to the other. And then, of course, you've got to get people who are, I'm sorry, it's a donut city. People live in the suburbs and then go inside and then for sporting events. It is what it is. And, there's some money that's being put in there, and St. Louis City didn't become behind or second place, third place, fourth place to these other cities and bringing events overnight. It took time, just like it's going to take time to get us back. Yep. Starts with money, and it starts with safety, and it starts with people having a vision, but just a sheer interpretation of St. Louis will help if it's positive.
Yeah, if we can get off the top crime list.
But sometimes then is it violent crime? And I know it's like, oh, you're splitting hairs, but
right.
There can be a difference. And we're from here. We want to see it. I saw a resurgence when I lived in Detroit for 11 years. And it blew my mind. I mean, it hit rock bottom in 2007, 2008. But then there was a vision, and politicians who might have been dragging their feet were drug along. They didn't have racism. They had a lot of money. Dan Gilbert, the owner of Quicken Loans and the Cleveland Cavaliers, spearheaded a charge to start buying up property because the Chinese were buying it at a very, very low rate, pennies on the dollar. They started knocking down old buildings and creating new. Do they still have crime? Yeah, but they created a city environment where people from the suburbs go to the city to have a good time. Does that happen in St. Louis? No, not really. Some aspects, but not all the time. And people think, oh, literally, people think, oh, Detroit's so bad. Guess what? Go to Detroit, hang out this summer for a week. You'll be like, oh my word. It made me jealous about how good Detroit became. Doesn't mean it's perfect. They still have crime, but their crime stays in a certain area as well. People aren't afraid to go to ball games, park their cars, vandalism, robberies. They're not worried about doing that. All 4 sports teams downtown, people going there. So I wish that I could, and people and it's Detroit versus everybody wearing those shirts. You don't have, we can become that. And I'd love us to become that because I saw it happen in Detroit. It took money, it took a vision, and it took people working together with each other and not letting little spats get in the way. The St. Louis area is different. We need to celebrate who we are. Obviously, we have a lot of positives, but we're going to have to work together more. But it has to start somewhere. Got to have cash. Got to have cash to get things going, man. You do. So
it's the magical dust for everything.
Oh my
Sprinkle
gosh.
some cash on it and everything becomes better.
Well, it certainly helps. Like they say, winning cures all. Yeah. Cash cures all. We appreciate the call here at Arch City Now. It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You don't see 15-year-olds walking the streets at 1 a.m. with an AK-47 in the county. Not usually, you don't. That's there. Not sure I understand this. You never see prizes on game shows giving away trips to St. Louis. Okay. Thank you. That coming from the chat line as well. By the way, the Cardinals today, 1 o'clock. Fetty's on the mound. He's had a pretty decent year. Then the Cardinals play a doubleheader. 4:40. The rookie, McCreevy, on the mound. He's been pretty decent in some starts. 1-1, 3.09 ERA. Opportunity for the Cardinals to take two, sweep the series, come back, because they have a weekend series with the Reds, who are right there on their tails. And then, of course, they have 4 games after that with the Chicago Cubs starting on the 23rd on Monday. As always, guys, we appreciate you jumping in on the show here at Arch City Now. You can watch us and stream us on X and YouTube. You can jump in on the chat line as well. You can also do the calls as we give you. And then, of course, check out everything that's happening with our broadcast network, luinfo.com. Once again, that is luinfo.com. Coming up next, Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and St. Louis Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. We also thank Projo for showing us his tattoo of the St. Louis City skyline. Guys, this is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. Have a great Thursday and happy Juneteenth.
590 AM, just like any other St. Louisan. We may go away, but we always come back. The Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com. Get your content when you want it, how you want. The Lou Information Station, 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.